Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we would like to introduce you to a very interesting topic. We'll dive into our strengths and weaknesses. Understanding them will help you to feel more satisfied in every field, from workplaces to daily and personal life, and will also help you to know your limits and to unlock your full potential. So let's start with the basics. In this video, we will explore the notion of personal strengths, how to identify and nurture them, and new activities for uncovering your unique sparks and personal growth about your strengths and weaknesses. First of all, a question for you. How can we define our strengths and recognize them? We would like to help you to identify them starting from a theoretical definition. Basically, when we talk about personal strengths, we are talking about the qualities, the characteristics or skills that comes to us naturally. They help us succeed, and while using them, we often can get some compliments because they are innate and instinctive. Of course, they are not just innate, there are ways to further nurture them. But in order to do so, first we should understand and identify them. So today we'll show you many methods that can help you make up your mind about your strengths. The first is self reflection. Try to focus and think about past successes and moments of flow where everything was in the right place and you were feeling at ease. The second one is feedback. It's a good habit to ask input about yourself and your behavior from friends, families, or colleagues. So, people you know and that you trust. And the third one is personality assessment. On Google, you can find a lot of personality tests that can be useful to have a wider perspective about your psychological functioning. For example, High Five Strength Test and Red Bull Wing Finder and Strengths Based Resilience are our top three. Try them out and give us some feedback in the comments if you like them. Once you have discovered your strengths, you should focus on continuously improving and refining your skills. So instead of comparing yourself with others, consider aligning yourself with people you may feel competitive towards and give yourself permission to learn from them. Moreover, putting yourself in situations that allow you to use your strengths and surrounding yourself with supporting people who recognize and encourage your strengths will be a very big boost for them. Here's some strategies. First of all, offset your development areas by capitalizing on the strengths of others. One of the greatest values of having a team and co-workers is the variety of perspective, talents, and skills to get the job done successfully. While we cannot be experts at everything, we typically are surrounded by others who have the know how to get things done successfully. As I said before, learn from those around you, get inspiration from the strengths of others, and while the work is ongoing, use the experience as an opportunity for observation and personal progress. Here we have other activities to unlock your unique spark and your full potential. Some of them are feedback circles. So, for example, you can exchange feedback with peers on what they perceive as your strengths. Then you can role playing scenarios, so act out situation where your strengths shine. Or if you want to find your unique spark, you should focus on what makes you jump out of your bed in the morning. Or you can use Holland circles that are psychological model or journaling that can help you to reflect on past achievements and what strengths contributed to them. To dive more into the topic and to help you boost your confidence, we would like to share with you a model to develop a personal and professional growth strategy or determine how you can move forward. This is the so called SWOT analysis. This method was created by Albert Humphrey of the Stanford Research Institute in the 1960s during a study conducted to identify why corporate planning consistently failed. It basically consists of a table split into four columns. You can see strengths, weaknesses or areas of improvements, opportunities, and threats or obstacles you are currently facing. You should list each impacting element side by side for comparison and start a little bit of self reflection on them. Also, try to write your own strengths and weaknesses and your opportunities and your traits. For example, concerning strengths, I will show you some example. You can self-reflect on what advantages do you have that others don't have. For example, skills, certification, education, or connection. What do you do well and what personal resources can you draw on? Which of your achievements are you most proud of? For example, you can write that you are creative or self motivated, empathetic, or resourceful. And if you still have any difficulty identifying your strengths, write down a list of your personal characteristics. Regarding weaknesses, on the other hand, you can self-reflect on what tasks do you usually avoid because you don't feel confident doing them, or what could you improve, or are you completely confident in your education and skills training? If not, where are your weaknesses? For opportunities, what opportunities are open to you? How can you turn your strengths into opportunities? And finally, threats. What obstacles do you currently face, and what are the threats and that you are struggling with, and what threats do your weaknesses expose you to? Now that you should have a clear picture of yourself, you can also try to focus on these examples of personal strengths that you can also they can also be helpful to you to include in your personal SWOT analysis. But be mindful and don't forget about the insight that you have gained until this point. Here are some new strategies to leverage your personal characteristics learned from your personal previous SWOT analysis. My advice is to focus on trying to capitalize your strengths and focus on utilizing your strengths in different aspects of your life. Concerning weaknesses, develop action plans to improve and challenge yourself out of your comfort zone. Furthermore, take advantage of opportunities for growth and development and mitigate the threats by identifying ways to overcome or minimize potential obstacles. So, we reached the end of our presentation. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope that you liked this video. We would be very happy to get some feedback from you to be able to improve our work. So here can you find the QR code that's going to take you directly to the feedback form. And also let us know through our channels about one strength and one weakness you are working on. I'd love to hear from you. See you next time. Bye.